You like D&D, right? Because I like D&D. So how about we talk about D&D together? I'm not going to put up that whole announcer voice for this long. So, I've been running a D&D campaign. We're actually only working on session 3 right now, but it's a homebrew world that I've been writing for the past 4 years or so, and I would love to share the experience of going through this world with not just my players, but with you guys. Our crew consists of 3 people. Eurobred, a monk who believes the path of enlightenment is good food. I like that guy. Kalifur of House Lindar, a paladin who worships a mysterious, unknown, godlike entity. And David Lind, a boring, subpar guy who's always very nervous and kinda unnoticeable. Like, his unnoticeability is anomalous. It isn't anomalous, but it could be. He just kinda fidgets with a ring. Our players meet in the town of Braddock of Makeway Bay, a bustling port town filled with many different ship crews. They run into each other and the captain of their ship, an NPC named Standard Testing Automated Neutralizer, STAN, or Stan. Stan is a warforged, too old to count, crusty as fuck, very talkative, and probably crazy. He somehow is attached to the mast of his even crustier old ship, presumably magically via the power of the giants, the god of this world, because I decided to be quirky, and instead of have anything like be reasonable, I decided to to commit to just like having the gods be called giants. But then there's also like just big people that aren't giants. They're not giants. Giants is just a word for God. But not all the gods are giants. Like, not all the giants are giant, but some of them are, but not all of them are. The majority of them are the size of mortals. And then the big guys are like, they don't even really appear a lot. Anyways, the giants are the gods of the world. That's all you need to know. Stan, with his weird transatlantic accent, introduces the party to their goal. We are to search for a long-dead asshole pirate's treasure. There isn't much detail provided, and Stan, being the crazy thing he is, never really gives a lot of detail. The party sets off for Rebioa of Offset Island to repair Stan's ship and meet an aged Arakakra, Spies Aquali. He's a shipwright Stan wants to hire, but he believes Spies hold some form of grudge, so he asks the crew to disguise him somehow. David, left alone to last minute fix the situation, pulls his oddly moist bedroll over Stan. I forgot I wrote that. And draws a face on him and names this figurehead Old Bessie. Spies falls for this, somehow rolling a fucking natural 1 on investigation, and gets to work. After 2 months, we get into session 2. The morning after the party arrived, Kalifur has disappeared, so David and Gyro decide to make their day alone. After meeting with Spies and seeing that the work has gone well, the crew pays him and he goes on a break. Gyro and David pick a fight in a bar. Gyro does. David's just there. But the fight turns on David, and he puts on his ring, and he transforms, and his body becomes an inky black. He grows tall, slim, and scary as fuck. I wrote that. He tells the orc that he wants to turn him inside out, and that seems to subdue the chef. David transforms back with no recollection of the event. Ooh! After enjoying their succulent Chinese meal, the crew hears Spies screaming. Spies is repeatedly screaming at the now uncovered Stan to, quote, find it and give it back. After Spies flies away, the crew interrogates Stan.
28 stab wounds.
The only thing that they're really able to get out of Stan is that an unknown giant put Stan in this situation as some sort of disagreement. He doesn't know who the giant is, and the duo decides to ditch Stan, not trusting him, and find Spies, and question Spies for some answers. After tracking down Spies' apartment, essentially, he reluctantly relinquishes his story. Stan, at least a millennium ago, was his captain. At the time, Stan was a raging kleptomaniac, so he stole the only item that truly mattered to Spies, a beautiful, ornate, jewel-encrusted dagger that had been in the Aquali family for generations. Spies ditched Stan, and that is where his story ended. The players questioned more by asking about the mysterious giant. Spies shut down, only stating that he was, quote, cursed by the giant, along with Stan, before kicking the duo out of his house. Well, just Gyro, because Gyro tricked David into believing it wasn't Spy's house, so David just quietly sat outside. Gyro and David question their own loyalty to Stan, before deciding to stick with him, and be cautious with the robot and his actions. Once they return to the boat, which appears to have been fully fixed before Spies left, thankfully, except for the rusty and cracked Stan. Questioning him again, The crew gets a surprisingly serious apology, and Stan agrees with what Spies had said. The crew demanded that the mission changes course to get Spy's dagger back, and Stan states that the new goal is the same level of importance as the original, to find the long-lost treasure of a long-dead pirate. And this is where we leave off in sessions 1 and 2. I'm actually recording this pretty soon before we play session 3, so hopefully there will be an episode 2 coming to you pretty soon. This is my first time editing a video that's been this long, but I'm excited to continue doing this. It's not something I really expected myself to ever want to do, but I've had fun editing and showing the players clips and stuff like that, so let me know if you'd like to see similar stuff. Feel free to check out the players in the description. I'll make sure to leave their casting call and their YouTubes and everything like that. So show us all some love if you enjoyed this series, and I'll have some bloopers of mine linked in the description below as well. Truly, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed. See ya!